welcome back to the Unit of Inquiry class. So it has been a long gap since we have discussed about Unit of Inquiry literacy due to the assessment. So we are proceeding with the classes now. So before I start with the classes, I just want you to remember that we started with simple machines. That was the third unit. Which comes under how the world works, and you people guessed it right, and you also told me some of the machines that we use. Okay, so today we are going to see what are the different types of simple machines and what are its parts. Okay, so this PowerPoint presentation I have made it with the help of A to Z booklet again. So it had the resources well and good that you can understand. So I have taken some of the pictures from the Google also. So this PPT I will be posting in the Google Classroom so that you can go through it for understanding it more. So let us begin. So like why the name simple machine is given? Why do you think? Because already you have told me it's because this machines are very simple. It's not complex at all. Like you people told me the other day that laptop is a machine. Of course, laptop is a machine, but from outside when you look at it, you see only two or three parts in it, but inside there are many parts. But simple machines are the machines that has only one or two parts in it. That's it. Okay, and these are the machines that we come across or we use it in our daily life. So the definitions you can see here. Simple machines are any of several devices. There are many kinds of simple machines. Okay, that is what they are meaning it. But they will have only few parts or no moving parts. They won't have any moving parts, or they will have only one or two moving parts. Like for example, you take the laptop. So laptop, if you take, it's not a simple machine. I'm just telling you the example that you gave me. So when you take the laptop, you have to open it. So one of the part that is, it gets opened, isn't it? So that is a moving part. It can be moved. But there are certain machines that cannot be moved. Now, don't feel that a big machines, they are very heavy, so they cannot be moved. Not like that. Simple machine means it is only one machine. It doesn't have any other different parts. Either it will have one or two parts or no parts at all. Okay. So that is what a simple machine is. And they have, used to modify motion in the sense motion means movement. Okay, when you walk, it is a motion, it is a movement. So when it moves because of a force. Okay, when I am pushing a table or when I am pulling a table, now there are two forces that we apply, isn't it? So force means what? The energy that we apply. So energy is applied when I'm moving a chair. That is when I'm moving a chair away from me, like I'm pushing. Okay, so when I'm pushing, what happens? I am applying my energy to the chair. Okay, and that's why with that energy the chair is moving away from me. That is pushing. Now pulling means I'm pulling the chair towards me. Okay, so the same way I'm applying my energy to the chair where it is helping me to pull it. Okay, so this is what machines work because of the force. Okay, and that to simple machines, definitely they have to applied with the force from the human beings. Okay, we have to apply some force into it so that that machine works, not like other machines. For example, the same thing, laptop, when you just on it, you just have to type, you just have to draw, whatever you do, but all the other works is done by the laptop. But in simple machines, the force is applied from your part. Okay, if you are using some of the simple machine, you have to apply the force. Okay, so let us begin. So there are six simple machines. Okay, so we are going to see what are they. The first one is inclined plane, screw, wedge, lever, pulley, wheel and axle. So these are the six simple machines. Okay, so again I'm telling you, these are the machines that we use in our daily life. Now when you look at the pictures here, you may wonder, wow, these are the simple machines that I'm using it in my daily life. Okay, so the six simple machines are inclined plane, screw, wedge, lever, pulley, wheel and axle. So one by one we'll see what are they. There are many kinds of machines. Most machines make doing work easier. They do this by reducing how much push or pull is needed to do work. Some machines are simple. They have very few parts. They are called simple machines. So the author of this book is telling us that many machines have got, we use machines because we want our work to be done in an easier manner and a faster manner. Okay, now some of the machines, they reduce our work. So definitely all the machines that we use, they reduce our work so that we can do some other work at that time. Okay, so that's why they call this as a simple machine, because only little bit of energy is to be applied. Even though you are applying the force, you don't, it doesn't need any electricity to work, okay, like other machines. There are some machines that needs electricity, but these simple machines which I introduced you was not the machines that has to be worked out with the electricity. So we just have to apply our force to that, but the force is not much. We don't have to put all our energy into it, but only little bit, but we should be there with that. Okay, so that is what a simple machine is. Again, I'm telling you, simple machines are very simple, like its name itself. It's very simple, with no parts or one or two moving parts. That's it. So first is a lever. Okay, a lever is one kind of simple machine. It makes work easier. A bottle opener is a lever. Now, lever is a simple machine. For example, they have given the example of bottle opener. So what is a bottle opener? You can see. So how does it work? You catch hold of the bottle opener's handle in one side, and when you push it, when you apply your force to the handle, what happens? The force is passed towards the opening. So that is why the bottle is getting opened. Okay, so all these examples I will be showing you in the live class. This video is just for making you to understand it more, so that you don't forget it. Okay, so that is why I'm using this. And next thing is, bottle opener is not only one lever. There are more examples, like seesaw. You would have played when in park, when you were going to the park, you would have played in seesaw, where one side you will be sitting, in the other side either your parent or your friend or your sibling. So how does it work when there is a seesaw? How does it work? One person goes down, at the same time the other person goes up. The same way, when that person puts his or her energy and he moves the seesaw down, the other person goes up. So this is how it works, that like a balance. Okay, so force has to be applied when we use the seesaw. So one of the example is bottle opener. The next example is seesaw. A hammer is a lever too. Hammer, with which you just put the nails into the walls. Okay, so the hammer is a lever, because when you take out the nails, or when you pound it into the wall, that is the application of the energy. The force is when you push or pull. Okay, when you apply your energy. So when you have to wound the pound the nails into the walls, what you have to do, you have to apply your force. You are holding the hammer's handle, and the force, you are not hitting it with the handle, you are hitting it with the head of the hammer. Okay, so the energy is going in directly into what? Into the head of the hammer, like this. You can see it in the picture here. Clearly you can see, like here, see, the this is the head of the hammer, this is the handle. So this person has held it. Okay, this person has held the handle, where the force is applied here. The force is applied here. Okay, but the energy is getting passed here in this place. So what happens? Work is done very easily. So for this we need to apply our energy. Okay, so the example of lever is what? Seesaw, bottle opener, hammer. These are the three examples of lever. There are many more examples which we will be seeing in the upcoming classes. Okay, so lever is one kind of simple machine. An inclined plane is another kind of simple machine. It makes our work much easier. Okay, so inclined plane is another machine which we call it as simple. And inclined plane doesn't have much of parts. You can see it in the picture here. So this is the inclined plane. Okay, this part is the inclined plane. So you can see the ramp is an inclined plane. This is called as a ramp. So I can tell you the example. If you have visited the hospitals, you would have seen the patients. Some of the patients who had undergone the surgery, they cannot they cannot walk, or they cannot use the staircase. So in the hospitals they will have a slanting portion, where the patient is moved down with a wheelchair. The nurse or the compounder will be pushing that wheelchair through the inclined plane. That is the ramp. Why it is used? Because the patients cannot walk or use the staircase. Even in the staircase you cannot use the wheelchair. So that is the purpose they use. So that is an example of inclined plane. So why do we think, why do you think the ramp is a simple machine? That is because For example, when you are moving out a big heavy object, okay, you have to put it into a truck. Imagine like that, there is a truck, you want to take a big barrel, like this man is holding a barrel here, you can see. And if you want to hold this barrel and put it into the truck, how do you think you can hold it and you can put it in your shoulders and then put it back into the truck? It is impossible. How much ever the person is healthy, lifting a heavy object is very bad in the sense you cannot withstand with that heaviness. Okay, so what do they do to make their work easier? From the truck they will put a ramp like a thing like this one, inclined plane. This is called as a plane because it is slanting, so that is called as inclined plane. So what happens, they just roll that barrel through that. So you can see this man is moving upwards to the truck using the what ramp, so he can move it. And even when I have to put it down after reaching some place, if I want to put it down, instead of putting it like that, instead of pushing it, what I can do, I can use the ramp again by just rolling it. Just I have to push it. What happens, the ramp, through the ramp the barrel will come down. So this is one example. The inclined plane uses less force. Okay, yes, it of course uses less force because you just have to apply a little bit of your push or pull. What you have to do, just little bit you have to push, so that the inclined plane helps you to take away that that heaviness, because you're just rolling it and you just have to push it to the truck. Okay, then lifting things straight up. So instead of lifting the heavy thing, easiest job is to just push it through the ramp or the inclined plane. But with the inclined plane you have to move things a greater distance. So using inclined plane, you can move the things a bit which is in a distance. It is not like short distance, now itself I have to do it, now itself I have to put it down. It's not like that, I can move it to a distance. So the inclined plane can be as much as big it wants to be. So see the example they have given, instead of lifting it, it's very heavy, you cannot do that. Okay, even though you are very energetic, it's it wastes your energy. It's like it loses, I mean, it takes away all your energy. You can lose your energy at that time. So to save your energy, you can use the inclined plane. One more example I can give you is the slide that you use at the park. See, one example already I've given from the park is a lever. Okay, this is inclined plane. The slide where you jump up the steps and just sit down and you slide down and come, that is an example for inclined plane. Next example is wedge. Okay, the third simple machine is wedge. It is a simple machine. It also makes our work easier, and it is really two back-to-back inclined plane. So if you why they are calling as two back-to-back inclined plane is because here the example they say is a knife. Knife is a wedge. Why it is inclined plane? Because see, it's a plane. What is an inclined plane? A plane. Okay, so when you join two inclined planes together, that becomes a wedge. Okay, now let us see how it works. Okay, so a knife is an example of a wedge. It makes easier to cut things. So how do you cut things? Simply, if you keep for example, take the example of a potato or a tomato. You're just holding your knife and just keeping that knife into the potato or tomato. Will it get cut on its own? No. What you have to do, you have to hold the handle of the knife, isn't it? You have to hold the handle. The same way, when you hold the handle and when you push it, when you apply your force into that knife, only it gets cut, isn't it? So that's why. So it makes our work easier. One more example for wedges other than knife: axe with which you cut the tree. So the same way, you can see how it is cutting the wood piece here. So the handlebar is the main component where we have to hold it and apply our force, but the force is getting into what? Into the head of that axe. Okay, so this is what the wedge is. So wedge is a simple machine, and the two examples are knife and axe. The next simple machine is screw, and this is one of the simple machine which doesn't have any part, I would say, which is very easy. It's a machine that this also makes our work easier. And what do they say is they are comparing the screw with again an inclined plane. They are saying that even a wedge is coming from the inclined plane. The same way, screw is also an inclined plane. But what is the difference? It is wound in a circle. Wound in the circle means when there is a screw, you can see this part of the screw. This part is called as a wound. Wound in the sense, not the wound that you get when you fall down. It's not that wound. It's the spiral thing. You can see when you take up the screw at your home, you would have seen many screws. So you would have seen that spiral kind of thing, twisted and twirled rolls. So that is called as a wound. Okay. So that is an inclined plane. They are telling that it is an inclined plane. A screw is a plane which is having some of the twists and twirls. So screws make it easier to hold things together. So what is the job of a screw? You can make two things together. That is, instead of, you cannot stick everything together, right? For some things like wooden furnitures, they use screw to get tight. To make two things tight, we need screw. Even in your laptops, the example you said, even your laptops have got screws. Okay, so that is for what purpose? To hold the things very tightly. So that is the job of the screw. And one more example of screw is the jar, the lid of the jar, the lid of the bottle, water bottle. So when you roll it, you can see that wounds there, like the twists and twirls there. Okay, so that is called as a screw. That is why it is called as a screw. So some of the examples is bottle jar, when you roll it, and the screw itself is an example. Then the jar, the lids, the jar lids, the bottle lids, the lids of all the things that has got that twists and twirls, that is called as a screw. So screw is a simple measure. Next is pulley. So this is some of the one of the simple machine which people had in olden days. Mostly they used to have it in olden days. This is a pulley. So this is mainly used in where? It's used in the well to lift the water. So that is a great example. You can see it here in the, they have given the example. So this is the pulley. So pulley's work is, how it does it work is, we will roll the pulley with a thread. Okay, thread means the string. Okay, with which you have to lift the water. So in one end you will be tying the bucket. Okay, you will be tying the bucket and putting into the well. On the other hand, what you have to do, you have to hold the rope. Okay, what happens, you have to push it like this, pull it like this, I'm so sorry, you have to pull it like this. What happens when you pull, your energy is applied into the rope, and with that energy you are pulling it. What happens, the water comes up. So you may ask me, ma'am, instead of this pulley, we can just like that put the bucket inside the well and just lift it. That that has got a big difference. At that time, without a pulley, if you put that rope into the rope of bucket, okay, the into the well, what happens, you have to apply more force, and sometimes it can hurt your hand. You have to pull it, and as heavier the bucket is, what happens, you have to apply more of your energy, which will get wasted. So to save our time and to save our energy, they have found out this pulley where the rope is put inside that pulley, and the pulley acts as a wheel here. So it rolls and rolls and rolls, so you don't have to apply much of your energy. So this is what and it is not only used in the well, okay, to lift the water. It is also used in some big industries to lift the big machines. When they have to lift the machines, at that time you cannot have the inclined plane. Okay, so we have to lift that machine, isn't it? To lift that machine, what do? They use the pulley. So here you can see there are two pulleys, because as much as heavier is the object that you want to lift, okay, that much force you have to apply. So instead of putting one pulley, they may have different, many pulleys there, which is called as a compound machine. Why it is compound? Because they have got different machines into one place. So what do? They pull it so that the wheels roll, and it becomes easier for us to lift it. Even though we have to apply our energy, not that much we have to do that. So it is a kind of simple machine. The flag pole also has the pulley. The flag pole, when they hoist the flag, on the top of the flag there is a pulley. This is the pulley here. You can see it here. This is the pulley. So these are the mechanisms. So the pulley makes it easier to raise and lower the flag. Lower in the sense to put it down. Okay, and sometimes two or more pulleys are combined, they reduce the amount of push or pull. The same way, as much as heavier the machine is, sometimes it may reduce our work and the energy that we have to apply. So this is one of the simple machine, that is pulley. Okay, next is a wheel and axle is another kind of simple machine. It makes work much easier. So this is one of the examples. So these are the wheels here. So okay, wheel is there. Where is the axle? This is the axle, the thing. Now see, this part is the axle. Okay, so you would have seen it in like the car, example of car I will give. So the steering of the car is acting as a acting as a wheel, and the wheels move, isn't it? When you rotate the steering, how does a wheel move? Because the wheels are connected with the axle. Okay, from the steering there are two axles that is passing on to the wheels, and that is helping the car to move. Okay, so that is why when you move the steering left or right, the wheel rotates, the wheel moves, okay, to either to the left or to the right. If you want to change the direction, you can use the steering. So that is connected in that way. And the same way, doorknob means the knobs that is having that is attached to the door to open and close it. So a doorknob and the steering wheel are wheels and axles. The doorknob makes it easier to open the door. Okay, so instead of pushing the door or pulling the door like this, you don't have to apply much energy. You just have to roll that knob so that the door is unlocked. You can open it again, you can close it, and just twist it. So twisting and twirling. So here it is not a screw, okay, that because we are twisting and twirling it, it's not like that. When you twist it, what happens, you're applying some energy, and inside that there is an axle like this, there is a handlebar like this. It's not a handlebar, I'm just telling for your reference. So this is one of the example. So this is how the car moves, this is how the door opens. We'll see live examples during the online sessions. So in time, people learned how to combine one or more simple machines. So all this while we have spoken about simple machines. So there are 6 simple machines. One is pulley, inclined plane, wedge, screw, wheel and axle. And we have other, there are not only 6 simple machines. People say there are 10, there are 11, there are 12. So there are many kinds of simple machines, and there are many examples also. Lever is there, and some people, and sometimes they give up with examples like scissor, stapler. So when we refer to those examples, it will be very easier for to find out what are the different kinds of simple machine it is attached to in the sense, what do they represent actually, whether it is a pulley, whether it is a lever, whether it is a wheel and axle. So there are different kinds. So we have seen all the 6 simple machines till now. We are going to see how these simple machines are made into a compound. Compound means together. When you join two simple machines together, if a machine is having some of the simple machines in it, like for example, if you take any machine and it has got a screw, it has got an inclined plane, so there are two different machines in one machine, that is called as a compound. So people have learned to make work much more easier. Okay, to make much more easier, what did they do? They found out the compound machine. So a can opener. So this is a picture of can opener where they are showing us. So a can opener is having a wedge, a lever, and a wheel and axle. So a can opener has got 3 machines together in it. So it does the job of those 3 machines. Okay, so it is a compound. A bulldozer is a compound machine. It has many moving parts. A bulldozer is having a many part. It is a machine with different parts, so it is a compound. So the can opener has 3 simple machine. The turning knob on the can opener is a wheel and axle. So whenever you turn the knob, so this is the wheel and axle, here they are telling. So this is the turning knob. Okay, so when you turn it, that knob is acting as a wheel and axle. The hinged handles form a lever. So this is the this is the handle. Okay, this handle forms a lever where you have to apply. When you have to push it like this, you have to just hold it like this so that the can gets opened. Okay, and what else? And the cutting part is a wedge. So this part is the one that cuts the opener. So that's why it is getting open, it is cutting open it. So that cutter is a wedge here. So since it has got 3 different machines in one can opener, that is called as a compound machine. So these are the different examples of day-to-day life. How do we use? So this is also a lever. Okay, in olden days, to lift the rocks, heavy rocks, people to move the rocks, not to lift, to move the rocks, they used to use this lever. So it is a big iron rod. Okay, so what happens, in one end they are placing the rock into the one end, and the person is applying the force on the other end. So he is not going and applying the force on this end. Take this as A, and let this part be B. Okay, so what happens? He applies the force on B, but the action is taking place in A. The work is done in A, but the force is applied in B. Okay, so wheel and axle, we have different examples for this. Wheel and axle. So this is not a pulley, don't get confused with this. So this is again to lift the water. So you can see it here. So what do they do? People, roll it like this. So when they roll it, what happens? The thread, the rope that is, tied with the axle here, it rolls the rope and it makes the bucket to come on the top. So this is one of the example. And pulley already we have seen, it is a simple machine. Then inclined plane, this already we have seen, wedge and screw. So all this here, if you have seen, what does it say? It says that when force is applied in one part, the work is done in other part. Okay, wow. So that is like the opposite reactions. Like when I am applying force in the B, the action is done in A. So this is how it works. So simple. That's why, because it's very simple. We don't have to sit and learn and understand this. Okay, because it's very simple in understanding. Just you have to apply force and make it work. But you don't have to apply so much of force in it. Even in lever you can apply, but in other parts you don't have to. In other simple machines you don't have to apply. So these are some of the definitions I have put. This also I have taken it from the Google. So they have given the examples and the definition of it. So this is just for going through, so that you can understand it more deeper. And I will be showing you live examples when I'm having the online sessions with you. This video is just to make you remember what are the simple machines and what are some of the examples. And even I have made an audio book using Book Creator. The same link I will be sharing in the Google Classroom. So if you want to listen to that, if you people like listening to audiobooks, you can listen to that. If you want to watch it, you can watch it through the YouTube. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood this. Please go through each and every every slide. I am going to attach the A to Z book also, so that it is more interesting for you to understand the things. So in future classes, we will be learning about what are the effects, what impacts do people have by using this simple machines. So till we see in the next class, kindly take care. Love you all. Bye. And happy Children's Day and Diwali in advance. Have a safe Diwali. And because it's pandemic, we have to stay more safe. So maintain social distancing when you celebrate Diwali. So till I see you for the next class. Bye.